Okay. So when we talk prepositional phrases, let me open this. Okay. Prepositional phrases are actually kind of hard to define. The definition is very vague. So you just sort of have to memorize them. So if you had the teacher who made you memorize prepositions, Miss Costello, is that who it was? Let's see who had her. Then she, as much as you may not have liked it, she did you a huge favor because prepositions are things you kind of just have to memorize. But the definition is here, and it is, like I said, it's very vague. It's a word that shows relationship between a noun and a pronoun and another part of the sentence. So it just shows relationships. It gives additional information. A lot of times that information is location or a relationship to something, but it can be other things. When I was in 8th grade, my teacher taught me that prepositions are anywhere a cat can go most of the time. She like brought in this stuffed cat and like threw it around the room and like made us hold it over our head and under the table and stuff. But it's stuck with me because prepositions a lot of times show location. So if you look at this list, this is the list of common prepositions, the most common. And you ask yourself, can a cat go on to most of these places? The answer is yes, okay? Because a prepositional phrase starts with a preposition and ends with a noun or pronoun, okay? Within that preposition and noun and pronoun, you have adjectives, maybe conjunctions, but never, never, never any verbs. There can never be a verb in a prepositional phrase. So for example, if we use the cat as an example, a cat can go aboard a ship. A cat can go around town. A cat can go behind the trash can. A cat can go beside Faith. A cat can go in school. A cat can go near Jocelyn. A cat can go onto the truck. A cat can go over a rainbow, probably. A cat can go under your shoes. Right. So all of this was just an easy way for me to remember it. Now, obviously, there are exceptions. A cat cannot go concerning or except or of. Okay, but a cat can go beneath, a cat can go beyond, cat not for or despite. But for the most part, it works. A cat can go outside of my house, a cat can go beside my bed, across the bridge, right? So if you think about it like that, it is very helpful. It's not always right, but it helps a lot of the time. So just ask yourself if you're confused, can a cat go here? And if the answer is yes, it's probably a prepositional phrase. Now, if you look at this, so these are prepositions. Prepositions always have a prepositional phrase with them. Okay, so if you look at these examples, the man swam under the bridge. Under is your preposition. It is telling me the relationship between this bridge and where the man went, right? Does that make sense? So my actual phrase is under the bridge. If I ask you what is the preposition is under. The phrase is under the bridge. Now, a nice thing about prepositional phrases is you can eliminate them from the sentence most of the time. Okay, my random statistic is 92% of the time. That's not factual, I made that up. But most of the time, you can eliminate a prepositional phrase and you still have a complete sentence. So if you look at this, excuse me, the man swam under the bridge. If we take under the bridge out of the sentence, the man swam is still a complete sentence, right? You still have a subject, man, swam is your verb, and you have a complete thought. Okay, if you look here, the cat or she walked down the aisle. Can a cat walk down an aisle? Sure can. My cat's name is Duncan. Duncan can walk down an aisle. She walked. Is this still a complete sentence? Yes, we have a subject, she. We have a verb, walked, and that is a complete thought. She walked is a complete thought. So down the aisle gives us the additional information. It tells us aisle. It connects aisle to where she walked. Okay. Now this one we have an issue with the complete sentence thing. It doesn't always work. But here you have two. Okay, these are two separate prepositional phrases. Julie walked around the campus and toward town. Okay, my cat can go around the campus. My cat can go toward town. There is not a verb in around the campus. There is not a verb in toward town. I just have a preposition. I have a noun, and then I have the modifier here. Okay, but Julie walked and is not a complete sentence, right? So sometimes that doesn't work too. Okay, so around is my preposition, around the campus is my prepositional phrase. This is why I want you to understand how important it is to, oh, this is good. Hold on, let's talk about this really quick. So sometimes these words might be adverbs and not prepositions. And so this is where, again, you have to be like, what is this word doing in this sentence? Okay, if you look at this example, he fell down. Let's see what we can label in this sentence. He is what part of speech? A pronoun, right? It is replacing a noun. Instead of saying Carter fell down, it says he fell down, right? Fell is what? It's the verb. It is the action. So what is down telling us in this sentence? Yeah, where or how he fell, right? And so that is describing my verb, which makes it an adverb. Now in this sentence, he fell down the stairs. We have a prepositional phrase here, okay? Because down is introducing us to where he fell specifically. So in this sentence, down the stairs is a prepositional phrase. Down is your preposition. It's showing the relationship between stairs and fell. Okay, here's another example, same exact thing. Trey is our noun. What did Trey do? He walked, that's our verb. This tells us where he walked. He walked aboard, so it's describing walked, that makes it an adverb, okay? But here, Trey walked aboard the ship. Now we're more specific. We have this ship here, so we need to see the relationship between walked and ship. Aboard is our preposition. If we take aboard the ship out of the sentence, Trey walked is still a complete sentence. Okay, so that's prepositional phrases. So let me show you why this is important. Why I told you for an ACT, for example, if they're asking you where the error is in the sentence, or is this subject-verb agreement right? If I give you this sentence, the team of girls run laps every day. Okay, what is wrong here? Or what is right here? Is this sentence correct? Let's start there. Is this sentence correct? The team of girls run laps every day. Does that sound right? Yes, it sounds right. You want to know why it sounds right? Because we are using the wrong verb, the wrong subject. Okay, of girls right here is a prepositional phrase. If I eliminate of girls, so when we say the team of girls run laps every day, we're assuming girls is the subject of this sentence, but of girls is a prepositional phrase. That is additional information. What is the real subject of my sentence? Just, yeah, the team, right? So this is my subject. If this is my subject, is this verb correct? No. What should the verb be? The verb should be runs. The team runs laps every day. See how important that prepositional phrase is? You would have just missed that question on the ACT because we looked at girls. It was the closest thing to the verb, and therefore we got that wrong. Okay. When I helped my juniors, this was like, okay, they're seniors in college now. I had a group stay after school for ACT training because they all bombed their English ACT. So we just stayed after school and practiced prepositional phrases, almost solely prepositional phrases. And their ACT score went up 8 points on average. That is a lot of points. Okay, it's hard to bring your ACT score up 1 or 2 points, let alone 8. So once they were able to master, oh my gosh, I totally don't understand subject-verb agreement because I don't know my prepositional phrases. Once you learn those prepositional phrases, then you're like, oh, I get this. The team runs of girls is additional information. I don't need that, right? I can take it out of the sentence, and now I see what my subject is. See what I mean? Let's see, what was the other one? Another example was my biggest class of juniors shares textbooks with each other. I don't know, stupid sentence. But let's go through this sentence and see what we can figure out. Okay, my is what part of speech? Let's say it out loud. What? Pronoun, right? What is biggest doing? It's describing class. Class is a noun, right? So biggest is an adjective. Of juniors is a prepositional phrase. I'm going to highlight that bad boy because we can get rid of that in a minute. I'm getting a phone call. Sorry. Okay, shares is what? It's the verb. Textbooks is a noun. And then actually with each other is a prepositional phrase also. Okay, so my biggest class shares textbooks. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, what a lot of us would be tempted to do though is look at juniors and think juniors is the subject. If juniors was the subject of the sentence, what would my verb be? Share. Okay, so that sentence would have been correct, but often, especially when we speak, we would have said my biggest class of juniors share textbooks because juniors share textbooks sounds correct, right? So to say my biggest class of juniors shares textbooks sounds weird. So we need to be able to identify this prepositional phrase so we know if we delete this guy, my biggest class shares textbooks. Still a complete sentence, grammatically correct. Make sense? Okay, I'm gonna look at this worksheet with you for just a second, but they're terrible because it's very elementary. And then we're gonna do a page together. Okay, so don't get out yours yet. Let's look at this. I'm just gonna look at a couple of them because you'll notice there is a pattern here. If we look at sentence number 1, the teammates walked beyond the bleachers. What is my preposition in that sentence? The preposition, not the phrase, just the preposition. Beyond, right? Because my cat can go beyond. So if I have beyond, my prepositional phrase is beyond the bleachers. Okay. In that phrase, I have a preposition. I have the modifier the, which is always an adjective, and I have bleachers, which is a noun. I do not have a verb in there. Okay, you can never have a verb in there. Yeah. Yes. Yes, for sure. So looking for prepositional phrases should almost become something that you do automatically, especially in grammar. Okay, because like if we look at this sentence, the temperature is several degrees below. Well, no, let's find a different one. I don't like these because they're all at the end. It's annoying. Okay, but this is a good example. No. Oh, here. The children slid down the slide yesterday. Where's your preposition? Find that first. Down, right? That's my preposition. My prepositional phrase is down the slide. So down we know is a preposition, so that means slide is a noun. The is an article that describes slide, so it's an adjective. And then I still have the children slid yesterday, still a complete sentence, right? So now that has narrowed down the rest of my parts of speech. I have my children as my subject, which makes it a noun. We know the is always an adjective. What are my children doing? They're sliding, so this is a verb. Yesterday is telling me what? When I slid, which makes that what? The adverb. Even though it looks like a noun, it's describing when I slid, so it's an adverb. Okay, let's see. Let's look at this one real quick. The strong man swam across the wide lake. What's your preposition? Across. Can my cat go across something? She sure can. Right? And okay, seriously. Across, I'm just gonna do this. Across, no, stop. I don't want swam. It's fine. Okay. In that phrase though, across the wide lake, we don't just have the, we have wide, which is an adjective. But again, that's okay. I could even say the strong man swam across the wide lake and I don't know, that's not a good example. The strong man swam across the waves and wide lake. Even though I have and in there, conjunction, that's okay. But I cannot say the strong man swam across the wide lake and died. The died would not be part of my prepositional phrase because it is a verb, and I cannot have a verb in that phrase. Does that make sense? All right, I do want you to get out your Chromebooks now. And open up this assignment. I didn't make a copy for each of you, so you're gonna have to make your own copy. I'm sorry. I forgot to hit that button. So make your own copy of the Google Doc. These are much more complicated sentences. We're gonna do a couple together, and then you're gonna see how you do like on your own or with the person you're sitting with. And then we'll go over all of them. No. Okay, so let's look at this first sentence. And this is just telling you to highlight the prepositional phrases. Okay, so this sentence says, in the introductory harmonica class, you will learn useful breathing techniques. Previous experience is not required. So take a second. In the introductory harmonica class, you will learn useful breathing techniques. Previous experience is not required. Where do you think you have a prepositional phrase? Anybody know? What do you think? Learn is a verb, so that cannot be a prepositional phrase. What do you got? Previous is an adjective. What do you got? Fantastic. And can my cat go in an introductory harmonica class? If he really wanted to, he could. Right? So this is my prepositional phrase. It is telling me location. It's telling me where I will learn this technique. Okay, it's additional information that if I eliminate it from the sentence, I still have a complete sentence. I still have a complete thought. And even though this is a long prepositional phrase, it starts with a preposition, and all of these words in between just describe my noun at the end. So that's my prepositional phrase. Let's look at number 2. There are 2 of them in this sentence. Soda water, the main ingredient in many bottled beverages, was invented during the early 1700s. The inventor, that should say inventor, incorrectly believed that the water could cure scurvy. I'm going to put this up here really quickly. Wait, where'd it go? There are 2 prepositional phrases. I'm going to put the common list of prepositional phrases on the board. What the? Okay. I want you to figure out where your 2 prepositional phrases are in that sentence. Remember, they're providing us additional information. Normally, we can take them out and still have a complete sentence. They're giving us a relationship between a noun and another part of the sentence. Anybody think they had the 2 of them? All right, what do you got, Emily? Okay, you got one of them, the in many bottled beverages. No, but that, I could see why you think that. Yeah, what do you got? During the early 1700s. Those are your 2. I totally understand why you think, because called scurvy is definitely additional information, but called is a verb. It's not a preposition. So if we eliminate them, soda water, the main ingredient, was invented. Makes sense. The inventor and blah, blah, blah. You get that part. Let's skip down to number 5. Dia de los Muertos is a holiday that is celebrated widely within families across Latin America. Here, there are 2 of them. So I want you to look for 2 of them. I'm going to pull the list back up on the board for you for a second. See what you think. There are 2 prepositional phrases. Additional information. There are no verbs in it. It starts with a preposition, ends with a noun or pronoun. All right. Anybody have any guesses? What do you got? Across Latin America is one. Who has my other one? Close. What would you say? Just within families. Within is the preposition. Widely is an adverb in that sentence. That was close. So you have the within families. Within is the preposition, families is your noun. Dia de los Muertos is a holiday that is celebrated widely is still a complete sentence. Let's look at one more, and then I'm going to have you guys do some on your own or with the people next to you. A wind chime of shimmering mirrors and wire swayed gently under my grandmother's porch. There are two prepositional phrases in here. See what you can find. And the one is very long. There's a conjunction within the phrase. So make sure you get the entire phrase. Number 7, is that what I just read? Number 7, a wind chime of shimmering mirrors and silver wires swayed gently under my grandmother's porch. Vanessa, tell me one of them. Yes, my cat can go under my grandmother's porch. I'm sure she would like it there. So that is one. What is my other one? Yeah. Fantastic. This is one that a cat cannot go here, but it is additional information. Of shimmering wires or mirrors and silver wire. So a wind chime swayed gently. Still a complete sentence? Yes. Okay. I want you to, with the people you're sitting by or by yourself, see if you can find the prepositional phrases. I'm not going to tell you how many there are in a sentence yet. Let's see what you can find. And then, wait, what time do you guys leave? 50 time? Okay. And then I'll tell you how many there should be, and we'll go over them as a whole class. Okay. I'm going to go pick him up in the front. And then I'll be back. Do you want me to play the Disney music? Oh, yeah. Some things never change, like how I'm holding on tight to you. No, not yet. Next week. Yes, I will. I'll be right back, you guys. Don't burn the building down. Be nice to Owen when he gets up here. Four is irrelevant. So just be 4. Yeah. If you first start with words. Yeah. But it's like, well, not every sense. It's describing the card. Yeah. Not an actual like word. Wait, so cards are like, is it just from and this is Owen, everybody. Say hi, Owen. You want to sit on that orange chair, you can. Okay. Number 3, the prepositional phrase was in French. Everybody get that one? Okay, number 4, for spelling and grammar errors. If you just said for spelling, I get it, but it should go all the way to the and grammar errors. Number 6, we have from Harvard and from playing cards. Number 8, by Amish parents in the heart of Ohio to New York City. Okay, so my grandmother was raised, so moving was a major culture shock. That's weird. Technically, it's a correct sentence. It definitely needs more information. Number 9, after the one-lane bridge, to your left, beside the creek. Look and take the narrow, unmarked trail that runs is not a complete sentence. So that is one of our exceptions to the rule. And then number 10, in the attic, under a stack of boxes from Ohio State University after our move. So we have my sister found dad's diploma, which he had misplaced. Complete sentence. We feel good about that. If you just want to mark as done, so that way it's done, you don't have to submit it. If you did submit it, that's okay. Tomorrow we will go over all parts of speech together and see how we do. It'll be fun. You're going to love it. Okay, I'm going to stop